So that effort by Congress to count the Electoral College votes is then when the insurrection began. And 22 News anchor Taylor Knight is live in Springfield with some insight on how all of this could impact American politics.
Members of Congress were whisked away and evacuated once those protesters stormed the Capitol building. Right now, I'm joined by political consultant Tony Signola. Tony, you are very familiar with this building. For people who aren't familiar with the U.S. Capitol, tell me about it and how difficult it could be to get into it.
Well, I got to tell you, this is an area that's normally in a high level of security. It is now in a lockdown. Even before all of this, normally it's in a lockdown kind of an area. And it's just improbable that anyone could have gotten that close. I've walked across the street from there and been worried about jaywalking or doing something wrong that I thought, geez, you're going to get arrested for this, you know? To see this group show up and scale the exterior balustrade there, that wall that everyone is seeing, you know, where they climbed up and got in. That's shocking. That's stunning that they could have even have gotten that close. Being familiar with the security that was in place when there was the IMF protest a little while back. I mean, the United States military was there in advance. You knew they were coming. It is shell-shocking that they could have gotten into the Capitol the way that they did. No question. Absolutely amazing. And as I say, a place that we normally would assume to be one of the safest places in the United States of America.
Have you talked to any local lawmakers here in Western Massachusetts about this, or lawmakers across the country, and what are their reactions to this?
We've had an opportunity to speak to some members of Congress and also to staffs, to their aides. I think you'll hear more today, as we are beginning to hear now, about what happened to Congressman Neal's office. You know, the office crew had to literally barricade themselves within the House Ways and Means offices. That's shocking to me. And that there was a member of the Capitol Police or more in, guns drawn. They had to barricade themselves in, and to get out, tear gas was needed in the hallways. That's how I'm understanding that occurred for our own member of Congress, you know, the chairman of Ways and Means' office. But others I'm talking to, they are terrified by this. They're shocked. They understand and realize what this means for us in our national standing and around the globe. There are people throughout the planet, all over the planet right now, who are shocked by this. This is not what you expect in the United States of America. So what we're hearing right now, sadness and a lot of fear, and a new thought about the security future tense of the nation's capital after something like this could happen.
So lawmakers did go back after all of this yesterday. What did that kind of prove to the American people? That
was a necessity. Republicans and Democrats returning, and even for those very few Republicans who still protested the Pennsylvania electoral vote, led by Josh Hawley on that piece, despite that, they come together, they go, and they carry out, they continue what this republic is about, that democratic process of the Electoral College, electing, looking at votes, and going forward with a presidential election. That meant a lot. That had to happen. That was like after 9/11, the members of Congress assembling on the Capitol steps and singing "God Bless America." You got to send some kind of a message, especially in the absence of a president of the United States who cannot give that message any longer.
So I saw an image yesterday of two aides carrying out those electoral votes and saving them.
Yeah.
If they hadn't grabbed those votes, what could have happened?
Taylor, what an incredible question you asked. And again, one that I think we're going to hear a lot more about. The Capitol was breached yesterday, not by ISIS, not by Hamas, but by these insurrectionists, these terrorists, these American terrorists. While that happened, sensitive documents, sensitive papers, anybody could have been in there. You could have a Russian agent in there, not to get into conspiracy theories and craziness, but that's possible, it's likely. Had those two aides not grabbed those Electoral College ballots, who knows what would have happened to them. And the process of electing a president would have been hindered greatly. That was probably one of the goals of these folks, to do something like that. For those two aides to have had that kind of presence of mind and probably put themselves in even more danger to protect the electoral processes, stunning. As much as we look at perhaps a congressional investigation as to what went wrong yesterday, what heads need to roll, who needs to be looked at in law enforcement, I think you're going to see a lot of folks honored for the incredible bravery that they exhibited yesterday.
So tell me about the implications that this could have on an inauguration that's supposed to happen in less than 2 weeks' time.
Absolutely. If you're in the Secret Service, if you're the FBI, if you're the CIA, if you're any member of law enforcement in this nation who's responsible for an inaugural on those exact same steps that we saw yesterday, breached by these terrorists, you've got to rethink, how do you do this? Certainly, I think there's going to be a push to continue to go forward with the inaugural, just like we saw Congress returning to finish the vote yesterday. But now you got to look at it in a whole new way. And certainly the people that were in charge of security yesterday cannot be anywhere near that inaugural. Not at all. No question about it.
I want to ask you one quick question
Sure.
before we're done here about the 2 Georgia Senate runoff elections going to Democratic seats. What kind of implication does this now have in Congress?
Gigantic. Balance of power now actually shifts. This gives the new president of the United States and vice president, the new administration, the opportunity to really get some things done. But more so than that, this isn't just a Democratic victory. For those people in the middle, those centrists, for those Republicans who want to work with Democrats, those Democrats who want to work with us to actually address some of the major issues of America, the COVID pandemic. This is an opportunity right now to not be stymied by Mitch McConnell. Again, whether Republican or someone that loves McConnell or not, he was a massive impediment to getting anything done. That's an obvious, and not just in the last 4 years, but for his entire tenure. So now with him out of the way, Republican senators are able and willing to go forward and do things like infrastructure, and more importantly, to address the fact that yesterday, over 3,000 people in America died of COVID. So I think that opens the door for some real work to get done now.
Tony, thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate you talking with us this morning. For now, we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio. Working for you in Springfield, Taylor Knight, 22 News.